Okay, let's start our final session of the 𝖠kiRiL𝗓𝖺 course. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to today's session about the human-AI digital twin interaction and the ethical implications. I'm Yilin, and I will be guiding you through this exciting dynamic world of human-AIDT interaction and its impact on our lives and the society. Yeah, and today is our last session, and in this session, we will not only have a lecture on human-AIDT interaction and the ethical things, but in the second half of the session, we will also have a presentation delivered by Gerard, expert with a great experience in the field of digital twin to speak. Yeah, so let's start with basic questions. What actually do we mean by human-machine interaction? Like more and more machines are beginning to replace human labor in the product life cycle, which has led to change in the demand and the distribution of people and machine. Therefore, this is crucial to study the interaction, the communication, and the cooperation between the human and machine in the product life cycle. Like human-machine interaction, the HMI focus on the communication, the interaction between human and machine in a natural way. The main technology for realizing HMI includes the VR, AR, and haptical interaction technology, the voice interaction technology, and so on. With the use of more and more machine in the manufacturing industry, the HMI has gradually changed from human adapting to machine adapting to human. So the development of the HMI can be divided into 4 phases that's shown in this figure. The first phase was based on a keyboard and the screen display. At that time, human manning gave command to machines through the character and the text. Then the application of mouse and graphical display helped the HMI to enter the second stage, where user could get information from computer graphic and the picture. In the third phase, the rapid development of the internet and the web, the interface enriched the interaction method. So the pen-based interaction, touch interaction, the voice, and the video-based interaction merged. The main goal of the fourth interaction phase is to achieve the multimodal interaction to make the communication between human and machine more humane. And in this stage, like computer technology like the VR, AR, the AR tracking, the gesture recognition, and so on are also applied. But however, in the fourth stage, the following problem is still exists due to the insufficient virtual physical integration. Like the first one is the virtual model is not realistic and accurate enough to show the details. The second, the main focus is on the data of the physical machine while the simulated data is ignored. The third is the service interface is not very intuitive for the user. So the 𝖠kiRiL𝗓𝖺 as the new technology that enabled the fusion of the virtual and the physical that offer new opportunity for enhancing the human-computer interface. The DT consists of the physical product, virtual product, and the connection. On this base, we can mention in the previous course, some research have proposed the 5-dimension digital twin model that's including the physical, virtual service data and the connection model to further enhance the functionality and the adaptability of the digital twin. Like with 5-dimension digital twin, the human-machine interaction problem pointed out earlier can be solved. The first is build the realistic digital environment with high fidelity virtual models that's driven by the real-time data to support more immersive human-machine interaction. And the digital twin data can integrate real and simulate data from the product lifecycle, and the user can obtain comprehensive data describing the physical world and the virtual world that's gaining deeper understanding of the physical entities. And the digital twin offers user in different fields with intuitive and easy to use software, the mobile app, and other platform. Yeah, so the human centricity is also a key symbol of the Industry 5.0, which is recognized as a value-based industry. That's revolution with a focus on the human well-being, sustainability, flexibility, and the efficiency. It has been recognized that the goal of the automation is not to eliminate the workforce altogether, but to leverage the human creativity, objective thinking, and the decision-making abilities. That's as well as the repeatability, accuracy, and the convenience of the robots to performance repeatable and boring tasks, as well as those that may be dangerous to humans. So this gives rise to the concept, the operator 5, like the enhancement of human perception, knowledge, and interactions through a range of enabling technology, as shown in this figure, with aim of leveraging these strengths to achieve sustainable development with a focus on the society well-being and robustness in the face of unexpected challenges. So in order to better integrate human into the CPS, the concept of human digital twin is gaining popularity to better monitor, evaluate, and optimize human performance. So the development of human digital twin involves deploying human models using the sensor data to gain insight into the behavior and the attributes, which may include the physical and the emotional state. While digital twin for machine has been widely used in the industry, the use of digital twin and parallel societies of the human-centric social computing is still involving the research topic. Yeah. So the digital twin enhanced human-machine interaction framework fuse the product lifecycle data and the virtual model to providing more realistic scenario for supporting the HCI interface. This figure shows the applications of the digital twin enhanced HMI in design, manufacturing, and the service. So the digital twin enhanced the human-machine interaction approach in the design phase. Digital twin data integrate the simulation data, physical product data, the usage, environment, user preference, the validation, and the previous generation product design data, which can help designer to analyze the potential customer needs and the product defects. And the virtual model provides the product design model, user requirement, and the environment model to support realistic simulation. That software and the mobile application provides intuitive interface that make designer easier and more convenient. And in the manufacturing phase, the users of digital twin are many workers. The virtual model provides a complete description of the real-time physical process in virtual space, thus enable workers to safely interact with the simulated machine. User can study the manufacturing process through the digital twin data, which include real and simulated data such as assembly, operation, like process data and design data. And in the service phase, the workers, engineers, interns, and the product user can be the digital twin users. Digital twin data integrate design data, the manufacturing product states, simulation data, like the instruction for use, and the maintenance method to help users have a more comprehensive understanding of the product. Through the virtual model, user can understand the internal mechanism of the complex equipment. So let's next look at the applications of the human-centric AIDT in various areas, starting with ergonomics and safety. So in the smart factory, as humans and collaborative robots begin to share workspace without boundaries, there is a need to ensure human safety and optimize the ergonomics during this interaction. So the collaborative robots are inherently designed to be safe due to the speed, force, and the torque limitations, and design the considerations. So the digital twin has been used in a number of studies to optimize the ergonomics in the manufacturing. Some research use digital twin simulation with the optical motion capture using a variable motion capture system by assessing and monitoring the indicators of the operational health and safety-related risk factor to monitor and optimizing the ergonomics in manufacturing task. So this figure shows the dynamic layout of the human-centric digital twin for the ergonomics and the safety. The framework aims to improve human well-being and the safety by monitoring the biosensor data and creating a model of human intent that can be used by machine intelligence to optimize the ergonomics and the safety. As is the figure. Okay, and the digital twin are also great use in the training and testing of the robotics system. Like training supervised machine learning algorithm requires a large amount of data. So the digital twin can provide a virtual environment that generates large amount of the test data to feasible train machine learning models and transfer them to physical system or the robot. As shown this figure, the NVIDIA demonstrate the capability with a new launched platform along with the industry partners such as Pepsi and Amazon, creating the warehouse at distribution center digital twin for training the AI model. Yeah, you can see that is can recognize the good. Yeah. So like this figure shows the generic framework for training and testing robotic system using the human-centric digital twin, which aims to achieve the goal of human-machine symbiotic relationship by training deep learning or the deep reinforcement learning algorithm using human and machine data inputted into the digital twin, which involves predicting human intention and creating machine strategy to assist human in a flexible and intuitive collaboration environment. Yeah, and the security and the reliability are also important issues in the digital twin. So more so in human-centric digital twin, human may be involved in the planning and the execution of the attract and may also be the target of the anthropocentrics, the CPS. In the context of the collaboration robotic cyber physical system, the researchers present assessment of the attract type, that's possible effect and the severity, and present a framework like this figure for a secure collaboration robot cyber physical system based on the authentication and data integration check and an independent model to compare the real-time sensor data to a pre-stored specification library and report if there are any different. And also in the healthcare, human digital twin are more mature and accessible. So like this figure show a generic layout for healthcare application, like we talk in the previous course, like patient-specific digital twin are generated using the information from the source, such as the medical imaging, the sensor data, and the medical informations. So the digital twin-based analyze and the diagnosed data are forwarded to the healthcare professionals, and the digital twin enabling technology helping train the healthcare professionals and augment the robotics surgeries with the sensory and the haptic feedback. So it is clear from the result that most of the digital twin are designed for use in the workplace, such as end users are experts in the specific application fields that are therefore holders of specific knowledge about the process, product, and the service of the organization to which they belong. The introduction of digital twin as well as AI has brought about large change in the work practice. So in order for digital twin to be acceptable and used, this system need to be as flexible and adaptable to human behavior as possible. So it must be made clear to employee that the idea is not be replace them, but to move toward to the concept of human-machine collaboration. Machines are not there to replace human practice, but rather to allow them to work in a cooperation with workers. So the advantage of realizing a semi-automated system is that it combines the irreplaceable ability of a field expert with the accuracy and the safety of the machine. So let's move to the ethical implications and the society implications of the 𝖫IDT. So we will explore 𝖫IDT is not as a technological innovation, but also a topic that raises significant ethical questions and society consideration. So the ethical future of 𝖫IDT is complex and multifaceted as this system become more and more integrated into our lives. We faced question about data privacy, algorithm bias, and the responsible use of the technology. How we respond to this challenge will determine the future of AI and their acceptance in the society. Yeah. So one of the most pressing concerns is the data privacy. The 𝖫IDT system often relies on the vast amount of data, some of which can be highly personal or sensitive. So ensuring the security and the privacy of the data is very important, not only to comply with legal requirements, but also maintain the public trust. And another key issue is the algorithm bias. When 𝖫IDT systems are built on biased data or the algorithm, they can carry over or even magnify the bias, leading to unfair or discriminatory result. That's identifying and reducing this bias is crucial to the ethical 𝖫IDT development. And the social impact of 𝖫IDT, like particularly on the employment, is also very important topic. While the 𝖫IDT can drive efficient and innovation, it's also bring with the risk of jobs being displaced. So how to balance technology progress with labor welfare is a challenge that needs to be carefully considered. As we navigate these essential issues, so the roles of police and the regulations become increasingly important. So the development of ethical framework to guide the development and applications of AI is essential to ensure that this technology benefits society as a whole. Yeah. So in the end, the ethical implications that societal impacts of the 𝖫IDT are as important as the technology advance themselves. As we move forward, we must continue to engage in such discussion to ensure that 𝖫IDT evolves in ways that are responsible, ethical, and beneficial to all. So, yeah. This is all content for today's session, and thank you. And now let's welcome Gerardo. He's a leading professional with extensive experience in the digital twin space. He has over 55 years of extensive expertise in the technology sector, particularly in the development and the implementation of the digital twin for smart cities, Yeah, okay. Let me pass to Gerardo and let him give us an interesting presentation of his work. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, and I'll try to share now. Host disabled. Can you give me?
Yeah.
Can you make me host? Yeah.
Yeah, you can share now. I think I give you the access to share.
That's fine. Thank you. So can you see these slides there?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the very top. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. And so what I just like to share today, and this is really a class exercise. It's not necessarily discussing live operational systems, but it's describing what we want to do, where we are going, and how we intend to get there. So it's following the course material, looking at the pain points and challenges, 𝖠kiRiЛ𝗓𝖺, the objective setting, measurable outcomes, the data sources. I'll go a little bit into the back end and the front end, discuss a few of the ethical considerations and a summary. And at the end of it, I'd just like to show you the actual digital twin which we envisage, and maybe it compares to some of your own cases. So on my bio, it said, well, I've worked 40 years with global technology companies and 5 years with tech startups, but I'm also on several boards in Ireland. And one of them is Sandyford Business District. Sandyford Business District, I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's the largest business district in Ireland. It's situated adjacent to the M50. We have a Lewis connection into it. We've 4 distinct parks in the district. We've Central Park, we have Sandyford Business District, we've Lorcan Park, and we have South County Business Park. And in addition to that, we've 2 large green lawns. One is the Leopardstown Racecourse, and the other one is Nave Olaf GAA Club. And also adjacent to us, we have Airfield Farm, which provides a little bit of greenery in all of this high-density urban development. And a little bit about our economy. We have over 1,000 companies in the district. 450,000 square feet of new office space, 26,000 employees. So it's essentially a business district. Today we have 5,000 residents, but that's growing very, very fast. And there is a program in place to increase residents. We have 4 business parks and so forth. We have a very diverse mix of people living in the district. A lot of them are tech workers. We could almost say we are digital nomads in a sense. So many of them work for the global tech companies, and 40% of the population are Irish citizens, 20% from other member countries, and 30% from the rest of the world. And there are numbers about demographics there. So we work very, very closely with Dún Laoghaire County Council, and of course we follow all of the main development plans which are published by the council and which are democratically consulted. They are subject to public consultations and approval by the councillors who are elected and so on and so forth. So we are, I suppose we are funded by a levy. So the businesses in the district pay a levy, and that goes to fund the board. The board itself are all pro bono, so I'm not paid. I'm a volunteer, but we have a small operational company which implements the strategies which we develop. Okay, and the main let me see if we go back. Yes, the SUFB is the Stanford Urban Framework Plan. That's the main document we use as our input, as our objectives, as a strategy, and so on and so forth. We translate that and we define our own 5-year strategy, and we implement that. And part of our strategy is to implement a digital twin. And so in previous years, the business district evolved as an industrial park, and we have moved away from that notion. So it was very much a lot of warehouses and things like that. But so a lot of our objective has been to evolve into a business district, and now we have global technology companies like Microsoft, like MasterCard, like Cubic Telecom, who recently got a major investment in the district. So we're perceived now as a business district, and with a very large technological bent. And so, as I mentioned, part of the plan is to increase the residential footprint. We've 4,500 residential units, 11,000, and we want to grow that to 11,000 population by 2030, which is quite significant, and that involves increasing some of the density and changing the land use, possibly replacing some of the old warehouses by new higher density residential units. And we've mixed land use, so we've a mixture of residential and business. We have different proximity of land zones. We have green spaces, which are orientated towards the hospitality industry, such as Leopardstown Racecourse. We have the sporting complex of Navalov and so on and so forth. And this is the overall official plan of the district with the zoning, the official zoning, and we can see the different parks outlined and the different areas which are allocated to residential, those which are allocated to business, those which are mixed use, and those which are for recreation and green space. And why do we need AIDT to solve these problems? It's a very complex area. It's a mini city in a sense. It's a mini urban area. So we have a lot of resources in there. We have a lot of infrastructure. We need the AI to help us to manage this complexity. We need it for future planning. We need it for business attraction. We need to be able to, a little bit like the IDA, we need to be able to attract businesses into the area. We want to get the global technology companies to come here. So all of this is the motivation we have for developing a digital twin. We have 4 major clusters in the mid. We have a very strong technology cluster. Companies like Microsoft, like Cubic Telecom, like Vodafone, international headquarters are here. We have MasterCard and so on and so forth. We have a very strong fintech area. We have AIB's Innovation Campus. We have Bank of America, MasterCard again, as I mentioned. We have a very strong hospital area, healthcare, and we have a very strong residential. We have an automotive sector with the Spirit Motor Group and so on and so forth. And I'll go a little bit quick, but we can share this. There are certain challenges in terms of we have to follow planning guidelines in terms of density, in terms of height, and so on and so forth. So all of these, the digital twin will help us manage some of these things. Parking is an issue. As you know, there's the trend to increase use of bicycle lanes. There's a trend of introducing different types of mobility, scooters or electric bikes, electric cars, charging infrastructure, park and ride. All of these things, they have to be planned, and we have to develop placemaking, and so on and so forth. On the commercial side, many new developments. There are over 2,500 units developed in recent years in Central Park, Rockbrook, the Cubes, Time Place and Corrick Road, and so on and so forth. So these are major new office developments. And we also have some of the key headquarters, like the Microsoft headquarters. There's a new apartment hotel, the Termini building, which is a shared office space building, and so on and so forth. On the key infrastructure areas, traffic is a big issue. We've only one major input from the N11, which is the Leopardstown Road, and we have the connection with the M50, and these tend to be bottlenecks during rush hour. So we are working really hard to solve this, and there are new linkages being provided through the old ESB depots and so on and so forth. So all of this very complex environment, very complex planning, so requirement for AI and digital twin. There's also for the cultural and heritage parts of the district, we have an Imaginosity building in the district, which has become available, and the council are looking at repurposing that perhaps as an innovation space or a community space or a cultural space or a heritage space. All of that has to be done, but no doubt it will be subject to public consultation. And again, the digital twin will help us to show what are the future plans for the district. On the data side, there are efforts underway with, as part of the Smart Dublin efforts, you have about 7 Smart Dublin districts in Dublin. Sandyford is one of them, Dunleary is another, Dublin 8 is one, Dublin Docklands is another, DCU and Balbriggan in Fingal is another. So each of them have sort of coordinated strategies. Some are doing different approaches. And in Sandyford, we have a data strategy in terms of using IoT to collect data on mobility. We have sensors on bicycles, which also collect data. You're probably aware that Tesla cars collect loads of data with the cameras. We also collect data with these citizen science initiatives using bicycles and so on and so forth. So to do this, we have developed in partnership with RealSim. RealSim is a startup company. Well, it's a spin out from UCG, or National University of Ireland in Galway. And they have developed a number of digital twins for Balbriggan, for Swords, for DCU, for various ones around the country. And they have helped us develop our digital twin. So what I'd like to do is play a clip. It's a short clip, which gives you a view of our district, a view of our digital twin, and then I'll talk a little bit about how we want to use this moving forward. And I hope this works. Can you hear that?
There's no voice, but we can see the view, see the video. Yeah.
Can you see the video?
Yeah, yeah.
And can you hear it?
No voice.
Well, we let it play anyhow, and in the meantime, I'll see if there's something else I need to do for the share sound. Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops.
That's the MasterCard building. Brand new building. It's part of a 3 unit campus. And this is the entrance into Leopardstown Racecourse. And on your right, you see the Microsoft campus. So Leopardstown is the green lung of the district. And that's a nice overview of our geospatial digital twin. And you can see on the left how we can select various resources to show, including infrastructure layers, individual business parks, and zoom in on the areas which interest us. Mixture of offices and traditional warehouses. Over time, the warehouses will be replaced by office or residential. The healthcare cluster. We applied EU funding for 3 projects. We won 2 of them and narrowly missed the 3rd one. And one was for a new public park. And we won funding, and we are designing with County Council a new public park for the district. And here you can see we're simulating the lighting and how the lighting would work. This would be part of the placemaking functionality of the 𝖠kiRiЛ𝗓𝖺. And we can see the impact at different times of the day and different cases of shadow, how shadow would impact other buildings, and public safety also. These are some of the new residential units I mentioned. They're in proximity to the Lewis, and yeah, they're almost nearly all completed now. And this is the Microsoft garage. This is the external outreach part of Microsoft. And the next one is the Microsoft International Headquarters. And that's our geospatial digital twin. So Yeah, and these are just clips of some of those you saw in there. We have the 4 business park, Central Park. We have some of the key buildings like Microsoft, the residential applications, the mobility applications, the new parks and the placemaking, the new buildings, MasterCard, and so on and so forth. Of course, that's where we are now, and it's very useful. It helps us to promote the district. It also helps us to do visualization for public consultation. It helps us to do placemaking. But in the future, we hope to do a lot more. And that's where we will do some outreach, partnerships, collaborate with the universities, collaborate with industry, collaborate with government, and develop this. And some of the ideas based on, in my previous life, I worked with smart cities in Europe. And one of the key initiatives we had there was to have a common APIs for smart cities. And this is funded by the EU. It's called 𝖫ware, and it's a common API for the public sector effectively. And they have a framework for AI and digital twins, which would seem relevant to the work we're doing here. We haven't implemented this yet, but I would see this as a way combining it with AI tools such as ChatGPT, ChatGPT 4 Turbo, or maybe a specific smart city type large language model. We could evolve along these lines. It hasn't been done yet. These are just idea stages, and some of the case studies could be in the use of mobility and so on and so forth. So what we'd like to do is to use what we have now. We have the basis of a digital twin, but we want to evolve it and integrate the AI components and so on and so forth. These are the cities in Europe which are currently deploying systems in digital twin, so it has a large amount of adoption. They meet every year in Barcelona at the Smart Cities Expo. Dublin and Irish groups are very involved in that. I'll just do a few case studies I've worked on in the past. This is the Amsterdam Arena. Smart city is based around the large concentration of people in the stadium, so it acts like a micro city. This is Paris, which is a 25 billion program. It's to get ready for the games which are happening this year, and it's really redesigning Paris. Paris gets redesigned every 100 years. It's redesigned by a houseman. This time it's been redesigned by its smart city program. It's called Hubs Grand Paris. I've worked on about 10 projects in the UK, like Bristol and Milton Keynes, London. London is probably the leader in terms of open data and so on and so forth. And in Ireland, we have a community of cities which are working together in smart city projects. I suppose it's been led by Smart City Dublin. Dublin Docklands is one of the cases there. So that's a quick overview. And at that, I will return it back to Yilin.